Hello, my English 105 students. Welcome to our last week of the semester for our English 105 course. When you turn in your last items here on Friday, you'll be closing out your semester with us. So congratulations to all of you for this achievement. I really think it's wonderful, especially given all we've had to deal with this semester. It's been great getting to know all of you. I wish we would have ended on better circumstances, but things being the way they are, that just wasn't going to be the case. But maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see you out on campus this fall, and I'm looking forward to getting back there as soon as everything is in the clear. So, going to be hopeful for that. I'd like to take a look at our plan, what we have going on for this final week of our semester, and also share a few parting thoughts with you as we kind of close it out. A couple things you'll see on our course module is one is I'm really going to ask for you to complete your course survey. This comes to you via email. It's also on your main page of your BB Learn. And it's essentially where you evaluate the course and your instructor. You do this for all of your courses, but I really think it's important to get your feedback, even given all that's happened this semester. Would love to kind of hear your thoughts and kind of have that to take a look at what went well, what didn't go as well, and it always helps me grow and learn as an instructor. So much appreciated if you can do that. Also, for the work you'll do this week, you'll want to go back and watch your peers' presentations, the presentations you submitted on Friday. I want you to go back by Wednesday and essentially find 3 presentations and submit comments to them, give them feedback. Let's keep it on the positive, encouraging side, given all that's going on this semester. Just to share, show that you've watched the video, share your thoughts on it, and this will also be part of that 50 points grade. So keep that in mind that you'll want to complete that to get a good grade on the presentation assignment. Before the end of the day, Wednesday, I also would like you to complete the 6-word memoir project. It's a real easy assignment, but it's one that's kind of fun and interesting that I'd like you to do. So we actually have 2 assignments due on Wednesday, which would be that watching the presentations, completing the memoir assignment. Would love it if you could just post a goodbye to our class, and I've taken our encouragement bulletin board and transformed it into an encouragement/goodbye. So just asking that you do that before you head out. Any thoughts you have for me or your fellow classmates, would love to kind of hear that from you. And then finally, you're going to turn in that final portfolio, the last big project of our semester. That's also due before midnight Friday. So the goodbye and the final portfolio will both be due Friday. Sharing that with me, turning that in, making sure everything looks good, and then you'll be all set. You'll be able to call it a day for English 105. One of the things I typically do when I close out this semester is just to talk about why I think this course is important, why it's something to value. And I've done this in past semesters, but I think given this semester, so much of what I normally talk about feels even more magnified. And if we went back to chapter 1 of Everyone's an Author, there's a scholar named Wayne Booth who was quoted as saying the only real alternative to war is rhetoric. And I always thought this is a really powerful statement. It's this idea that when we recognize rhetoric, understand rhetorical situations, understand how rhetoric works, we could prevent major catastrophic problems, or we could change the way people act, the way people think in different ways that can be extremely beneficial. And I've been thinking about rhetoric a lot during the pandemic, and I'm sure rhetoricians around the world will be studying how that rhetoric was shared, how a government convinced people to shelter in place, got that message across. When was it? When did it use something like pathos, like you don't want grandma to die? Or when did it use logos, like here's the science and the statistical mathematical information we know about exponential growth of virus infections. So really fascinating to think about rhetoric in this day and age and in the moment we're in. But when we think about rhetoric, we think about ourselves as authors, the purpose of what we create, who our audience is and how we can reach and influence them. And again, it has so much more amplified value now. And I've been thinking a lot about that. And I hope that you'll think about that too as something that we study this semester. And then two, I feel like writing and communicating will have ongoing power for us. So our ability to write well, communicate well, regardless of what your major is, what your profession becomes, this is going to be extremely important in how we hone it, how we use it, again how we bring language to bear as a way to share our ideas, our concepts, how we feel about something. And then finally, I'll mention when we think about like the iSearch that we worked on, other projects this semester, the collaborative research project, that idea of deep and thoughtful inquiry, of really extensive and engaged research, just becomes our ultimate teacher. And I feel like I, in the last few weeks, have been doing a lot of inquiry just to learn about what we're going through and understanding it and gaining insights on it and thinking about what this, considering the source, is that source valuable? Is it reliable? Understanding how these different sources kind of work together to bring information and paying attention to all of that. And I want to close with a quote too by scholar James Britton. Once famously said, "Your writing is your academic currency." And I think this is an interesting quote because it reminds us that if we put focus on our writing, if we put attention on our writing, we try to make it stronger, we give that time to develop and hone our writing process, that ultimately will lead to successes with our academics and with our life beyond. So I'm always thinking about that quote, especially as I get to the end of this semester. Well, that's all I have for the videos. Probably the last time you see me, unless you want to drop by for office hours for one last goodbye. We'd love to see you if you do that. So we'll have office hours for the rest of this week for Thursday and Friday on April 28th, April 30th. So if you want to swing by and say hello, would love to do that. Otherwise, again, best wishes for your future. I hope you have a great and safe summer. And then check in with me anytime you need help on something. Once you're my student, you're always my student, and I'm always here to help you when you need it. So good luck.